Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube creative studio. I'm so happy you decided to spend some time with me and with crocheting. Today I prepared a video guide how to crochet this wonderful Cocoon Shrug. The pattern is super easy, it's absolutely perfect for beginners. I use this Merino bulky yarn and a bigger 12mm crochet hook. All important information to this video guide you will find in the box below the video, and the written pattern is available at my website. So if you are interested how to crochet this wonderful Cocoon Shrug, let's get started. I will start with a slip knot and then I'll chain 65 chains. Okay, so let's crochet a foundation chain with 65 chains. Okay, this is the beginning. It's really stretchy and flexible. Once you have it, it's good to make a quick measurement. My chain measures 40 inches, 100 centimeters. So a chain is long 40 inches or 100 centimeters, which is perfect for M or S size, woman size. If you need your shrug bigger, just add 10 or 15 more chains, or if you like oversized wearables, you can also add some more chains. The first row, chain 1, and I will not count it as a stitch, and make a half double crochet into the second chain from your hook. So yarn over, pull yarn through the second loop, and yarn over and pull yarn through all loops on your hook. Okay, the first half double crochet is finished, and you will make a 1 half double crochet into each chain across. So yarn over, pull yarn through the loop, yarn over and pull the yarn through all loops on your hook. Perfect. The second half double crochet is already done, and we will continue. So yarn over, pull yarn through the next chain, yarn over and pull yarn through all loops on your hook. Super. So it's really easy, and if you know how to crochet half double crochet and a double crochet, you can make very easily and very quickly your shrug. Super perfect. It's very stretchy and flexible. Just make sure you use a big crochet hook when you are making this shrug. So I already make 65 half double crochet. My first row is finished. So you can turn your work, chain 1, and we will continue crocheting. Again, I will not count this chain 1 as a stitch. So the first half double crochet is placed into the first chain or first stitch. Okay, so this is my first half double crochet, and now we are going to start making our pattern. You see there is the V front and back loop. This is it. This is the standard way we will pull yarn through, but we will use that third loop which is hidden behind the V, behind the back loop. So pull yarn through this third loop and make a standard half double crochet. Again, turn your work a bit towards you, find the third loop and make a half double crochet. Okay, so you see the V, find the third loop, pull yarn through and make a half double crochet. Super. So just make sure you always put each half double crochet into that third loop, to this third loop. Okay, so this is my pattern. So always find the third loop and work a half double crochet into the third loop. So let's look at this. You clearly see the front and back loop, which they create small V's, and these V's are pushed in front so you can clearly see them, and they create this wonderful and super easy pattern. Okay, I finished my second row. I crochet 65 half double crochets, chain 1, turn the work, and again you will place a half double crochet into each stitch and always place it into the third loop. So again, turn your work a bit, find the third loop, you see there is the V, the third loop is behind, a bit hidden, and work a half double crochet there. Perfect. And make sure you place a half double crochet into each stitch. So in each next row you will have 65 double crochets, and each half double crochet is placed in the third loop only. Okay, so I will continue with my third row. As you already know, now we will repeat the pattern. So next row, row number 4, will have the same pattern. So you will place the half double crochet into the third loop and you will have 65 half double crochet in the row. So you can continue with the crocheting. You already know how to make this wonderful cocoon shrug. So I will meet you at the end of this row. As you can see, this is the last stitch in which we will create half double crochet. Okay, so I have finished it. Let's look at my work. So I will finish this row, put a half double crochet into the last stitch and chain 1. Always start the row with chain 1 and don't count this chain as a stitch. So you will always start with a half double crochet which is placed in the third loop in the first stitch, and you can continue with the pattern. So 1 half double crochet in each stitch across and always place in the third loop. See with the V, turn the work, find the third loop and pull yarn through this third loop and create a half double crochet. Okay, again find the third loop, pull yarn through and pull yarn through all loops on your hook, and we created a half double crochet. So what do you think? It's super easy, isn't it? Just make sure you always use the third loop and the pattern is perfect. You see, you always have the row of small V's which is visible at one side, and next row is visible on the other side. So the front or the right side and the back or wrong side is the same one, so you can use both sides for your shrug. So you can continue, and I made 34 rows. So this is it, this is how it looks like. let me double check. 20, 22, 4, 6, 8, 30, 32 and 4. Perfect. So I have 34 rows, and we can do a measurement of this side. So we create the panel. There is a short side long 31.5 inches, 80 centimeters. This is it. And the long side has 40 inches, 100 centimeters. And now it's time to join the panel. So we have the rectangle and we fold the work in half over the long side and we join the corners. Okay, so fold the work in half over the long side and we will join the shorter sides. So bring the corners together. We can start with the first chain you created and the first stitch from the last row. Okay, so this is it. This is my first chain from the very beginning and the first stitch from the last row. Okay, I'll show you once again. So I fold my work. You see this is the shorter side, so I will fold it over the longer side. It's a rectangle, so this is, we will join this shorter side. So I will bring these ends, these corners together. We can make a knot here, so it will be much more easy for your orientation. So I will make a knot here. So I will use the yarn from the very beginning. This is the yarn I started with, and make a knot. Okay, this is it. So I join the corners and now I will join the sides by slip stitching. Okay, and I will make a hole for the armhole. So I will join approximately 2/3 of this short row and I will create a hole for the arm. For joining I use a small crochet hook, 8 millimeters, and I will join it by slip stitching. Okay, so if you make or create more rows, I created only 34, so if you created more, just join about 2/3 of your work, fourth work. So I will start with a slip knot from the corner and now I will join by slip stitch, stitch to stitch. Okay, so pull hook through 2 loops from one side and 2 loops from the other side, opposite side, and pull yarn through and create a slip stitch. Again, pull the hook through 2 loops from one side, the first side and the second side as well. So you have 4 loops and pull yarn through all of them and create a slip stitch. So this is it. Okay, so you can continue crocheting. Just make sure you use a stitch which are opposite to each other, and the pattern will give you a guide. So you will see the row with V's and this should be aligned with the row of V's from the opposite side. Okay, so this is it. Just match the rows of V's together. This is the row of V's and I will connect it exactly at the same point on the opposite side. Super. And pull yarn through. This is it. So you can clearly see the V's, and on one side and on the opposite side they are aligned. Okay, so you can continue crocheting stitch to stitch. Always pull hook through 2 loops from one side and 2 loops from the opposite side. Okay, perfect. And make a slip stitch. So you can continue crocheting, and I'll meet you once we will have at this point. Approximately is 1/3 of this half work. So I joined 11 rows together, and I leave 12 rows, and they will create a hole for the arm. Okay, so you can create the hole bigger or smaller, depends on your arm or of your comfortable of wearing this shrug. So now I will do a border around this armhole. So chain 1 and make a single crochet evenly around the armhole. So make a row of single crochets just to fix or make a border around the armhole. You can also do slip stitching if you prefer it, it's up to you. So I will do 1 row of single crochet. If you will continue crocheting around this hole, you can also create a sleeve, but I will not do it in this pattern, but of course it's easy to add the sleeve to this Cocoon Shrug. So this is how my work looks like. Okay, I will finish it. I'm in the middle of this hole, so I will finish it, and in total I will make 22 single crochets around. I will speed the video as it's easy to create single crochets, and meet you at the end of this row. Okay, so this is it. The border around the armhole is finished. You can once again look at the pattern. It's quite nice, isn't it? So it's perfect. So we are done with this armhole, with the joining the panel, and you will do the same work on the opposite side, the other side. Okay, on that side, so you will join the corners and join the rows by slip stitching and create a hole for the arm. So just repeat the same process. I joined about 11 rows and left 12 rows for the armhole. Okay, so I have my both sides joined, and we can start create the neckline border or the collar. The collar is crocheted around the longer side. I will start with chain 3 to create the first double crochet. The collar is created from double crochets. So for shrug, I crochet half double crochet, and in this part, the collar part, I will use only double crochet stitches. So start at the point where you start the joining the panels, where we made a knot. So start at this point, chain 3, and make a double crochet into each stitch. So this is how it looks like. For this part, I again use a 12mm crochet hook. So the same number as I use for the shrug, only for joining I use the smaller hook. So let's continue crocheting, and I'll meet you here where is the joining of the next sides. So I will start it at the joining, and now I reach the opposite joining, and I'll show you. So I finished the double crochet, and I show you this point, and just make sure you place a double crochet into this this joining part, this joining row. Okay, so place a double crochet into this seam, and then you can continue crocheting as you already made. So a double crochet into each stitch around, and we have 65 half double crochet in the row. So now you should have 64 double crochets on one side and 64 on the opposite side. So altogether in the first row you should have 128 stitches, 128 double crochet. We made one stitch into the first seam and in the opposite seam as well. Okay, perfect. So you can continue crocheting a stitch to stitch, a double crochet into half double crochet from the last row, and when you reach the beginning, this is it. I started with chain 3, so join the row by slip stitch, place into the third chain from the beginning, and this is it. So we finished the first row of our collar. Okay, super. And look at your work, it's super perfect. Let's start the second row of our collar. Chain 3 as the first double crochet, and now we will work front and back post double crochets, and we will alternate them. So be careful now. Instead of making the stitch on the top of the stitch, you will post the stitch around the stitch, and the front post is placed from the front to back and back to front, and then you finish your double crochet as normal. For back post, insert the hook from back to front and then from front to back, and then finish the double crochet as normal. So pull yarn through 2 and pull yarn through 2. Perfect. Once again, the front post, insert the hook from the front to the back and from the back to the front, and finish the double crochet, and the back post from the back to front and then from front to back, and that's it. Super. So you can now make one front post double crochet, and then in the next stitch or around the next stitch a back post double crochet. Super. Now I will continue with a front post double crochet, and around the next stitch I will make a back post double crochet. So only a bit challenging thing at this pattern is that the double crochet is not placed on the top of the stitch, but it's placed around, and just make sure where or how to insert the hook when you create front post and back post. And this is everything what you need to know to create a nice collar. So you will alternate front post and back post. You can make the collar as long as you wish. Just make sure each row you will start with chain 3, and each row you finish by slip stitch, which is placed on the top of the third chain from the beginning. And the front and back post double crochet, they will give you a guide which one is placed next, so you can clearly see this is back post double crochet, and now it's front post double crochet. So now it's really easy and relaxing crocheting, and you can continue till you reach the desired length of your collar. So now I'm about to finish the 5th row. So this is my back post double crochet, the front post next. This is it, and I will finish my row with a slip stitch placed into the third chain from the beginning. And as you can see on the pattern, it looks like a row of back post double crochet, so it's perfect. It creates a wonderful pattern there as well. So this is it. I finish my 5th row, and I will add one more row, so it will be my 6th row, started with chain 3 and then front post double crochet around the next stitch and the back post around the next stitch, and this is it. So you can continue with this pattern, change one back post and one front post till you reach the end, and this is it. I'm going to finish it, and I think this length is perfect, so you can finish the collar as it is. Okay, my last front post double crochet and a slip stitch into the third chain from the beginning. Okay, wonderful. So we have it. Look at the pattern, it's really nice one. I love it. So you can leave the collar as it is. I like it, or you can add one more row around the row of slip stitching. So place a slip stitch into each stitch, and you will create nice border around your collar. Okay, so a row of slip stitches around, but I think it looks perfect without that border as well, so it's up to you. If you decided to make this row of slip stitches, I will meet you at the end of this row and show you how to finish it. Okay, super perfect. Yeah, I really love that pattern. It's so easy and it's quick work, and you can have your shrug ready in 1-2 days. Okay, I will finish the last row, Okay, stitch to stitch, and once you reach the beginning, you can cut the yarn, and I will show you how to do invisible end. Okay, so this is my first first stitch, and this is gonna be my last one. So let's look at this close up. So I cut the yarn and I don't finish the last stitch and just pull yarn and grab the end of this yarn. Then insert the hook under front and back loop of the first stitch and pull yarn under this V, under these two loops. Okay, you pull yarn under them and then open the last V you made. Open it, insert the hook under the back loop only and pull yarn into the V. So in the middle, the V. So between the front and back loop. Okay, and this is it. You just created invisible ending. And we are done with our collar. Let me recap the pattern. We started with the row of double crochet, and then I alternate a front post and back post double crochet. I made 6 rows and I finish it with the row of slip stitches. So this is it. Look at the shrug, and we can do the measurement of the collar. So it's wide 4 inches, 10 centimeters. And that's it, my crochet friends. You already know how to crochet this wonderful Cocoon Shrug. Let me just recap. I used this Merino bulky yarn. I used the 12mm crochet hook, and only for joining I use a smaller hook, 8mm. And for the shrug I create a pattern of half double crochet stitches. They are placed in the third loop only. The shrug is made as a one rectangle. I joined the shorter sides together by slip stitching. I also made armholes and a collar. Collar is made around the longer sides, and it's a pattern of double crochet stitches, and I alternate front post and back post double crochet. And this is the end of my video guide, my crochet friends. Thank you very much for watching. I'm so happy you decided to spend some time with me and with crocheting. I really hope you like this video guide, and I really appreciate your feedback. Please let me know how your Cocoon Shrug turns out, and if you will have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. I'm happy to help. And I absolutely fall in love in the color of that Cocoon Shrug, this violet color. It's amazing, and you can be sure that you will be visible in this winter season. And it's so nice and so soft, and it's so pleasant to wear it. I love it. If you like this video guide, please don't hesitate to give me your thumbs up and subscribe my channel. Thank you once again. Wish you happy crocheting. Take care and bye for now.